Well, you can do marketing, but marketing is expensive. Social media, yes, it can help. Outbound calling campaigns to customers, they can help. But the bottom line is there's just only so much you can do to control how many people cross that threshold in the course of the day, right? So one of the things I want to challenge you to do is focus on something. I'm going to give you a term here. PPT, profit per transaction. Profit per transaction, PPT. You need to live and die by that for one simple reason. It's not about your foot traffic. You can have a ton of people cross that threshold in the course of a day, but that doesn't necessarily mean you're going to have a good day. I've been to enough retail stores where we had good traffic, but we didn't have much to show for it at the end of the day because you had looky-loos who they were looking at something first, but before deciding if they were going to buy it online. Oh, I'm not eligible for my upgrade yet for another couple months. I was just in the mall killing time while my wife's shopping. I thought I'd come in and take a look at the newest phones. Host of reasons why we may have had good traffic, but still didn't get anything out of it at the end of the day. All right? So it's not about door swings. It's not about door counts. It's about maximizing each opportunity. Some of the better salespeople I had who made $70,000, $75,000, $80,000 selling phones in kiosks and mall retail stores understood this concept. They didn't care how many people crossed the threshold. They cared how much they were able to sell that day. All right? And they looked at every single transaction and said, I don't know how many of these I'm going to have today, so I need to do the best job I can of qualifying people for maximum value, recommending the best solutions, and getting the most profit out of each transaction. Does that make sense? I really hope that resonates with every one of you, okay? I built a $123 million organization. I have a little bit of a clue as to what it takes to get there, all right? And it's about those kind of granular things, profit per transaction. Again, there's only so much you can do about getting people across that threshold, but there's a lot you can do with the people that are in your store. I recently had my phone repaired at a store in Pittsburgh. Great repair experience, terrible from the sales perspective. They made absolutely no attempt whatsoever, none, to sell me anything. They did the repair, I was happy with the repair, but as a sales professional who's worked in the retail environment, I was a bit disappointed that nobody made any attempt to qualify me for anything else or sell me anything else, okay? That's just something that you can't let exist. You're not going to support yourself by just what walks in the door, okay? And being random about it. You have to do a very good job, a very deliberate job of understanding people's needs and making sure that you're doing your best job to sell them everything you can, meet those needs, send them out the door happy, but at the same time, make sure your register tells them pretty full by the end of the day. All right, that looks like that's about all I have time for. Question or two before I get off the stage? Yes, sir.
You mentioned about some areas that you would hire people from, that they were kind of like older companies. Is there anybody current that you would hire great salespeople from?
Really anyone who's got a strong sales background, or I know they've had professional sales training. Some of their income was derived from commission. It doesn't necessarily have to be straight commission, but at least some portion of their income came from commission. So I don't care if they were selling jewelry in the mall. I don't know if they were selling cars, if they were selling insurance. It doesn't really matter. It's just more a matter of finding people who, again, have had some sort of background in sales itself, understand the sales game, and the importance of getting that customer, to spend that money and make that commitment to them at that store that day. Does that help?
There's a conference next door of like 10,000 World Financial Group, which is a network marketing insurance company.
Oh, yeah, my gosh. Those people are part of a cult though. Not them in particular, just that kind of that environment. They're pretty sold out to the cause though, so if you can get those folks, they might not be the worst people either. Yes, sir.
Sorry. No, go ahead.
Okay.
So that's interesting what you said, because I just put an ad on Indeed 2 weeks ago for a retail salesperson. And you get a lot of people that are just money handlers. They worked at McDonald's making change, or they worked at Walmart doing something, or worked at a grocery store checkout line. But that's not the kind of person you're looking for. You're looking for somebody that's been in commission sales.
Right, to some degree, yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, no, look, every so often I've deviated from that if I saw someone I thought had real potential. I hired a kid one time who was hustling coffee in a mall, 19 years old. But he was constantly trying to add to the invoice. And I finally asked him, do you get paid commission? He said, no, I just want to make my boss happy. So I'm trying to convince him to let me put a tip jar out. I realized that kid had world-class potential. He just didn't know how good he could be. Hired him, proved to be one of the best hires I've ever made in my entire career. So I will deviate from that, but I do tend to prefer those who've had that prior experience because it just accelerates your learning curve a little bit.
Jiffy Lubes, oil change places.
Yeah.
Yeah, my question was, as far as the compensation model that you would use, hourly plus a percentage of the product that you're selling?
I'm a fan of gross profit, yes, hourly plus some sort of gross profit model, because if you're a business person, you're looking at your profit and loss statement, you're looking at gross and net profit. Well, what did we bring in after all the bills are paid, how much am I keeping, right? Well, you don't want them to know how much you're keeping, that's none of their business, that's your business. If they want to know that, they can start their own store. Your business, however, don't be afraid to let them see what gross profit looks like on things, and incent them to the same thing you're trying to accomplish yourself. So in the dealer world with all the major carriers, all of their people, I mean, it's universal nowadays. Everybody pays on gross profit, percentages of gross profit. So by the time the day's over, they're not worried about how many repairs they did, how many auto boxes or Zags they sold. They're just strictly looking at gross profit. And you can look at that and say, hey, good day, we had good gross profit today for the store. Does that make sense?
And gross profit on that particular, so if it's an accessory, the margin is, let's say 40, 50% or higher, you want to do like 7, 8, 10% of that.
Yeah, you're gonna have to decide what you're comfortable with. You may wanna make it a flat postalized number based on everything, where just you get 7% of everything that you do that generates revenue, something of that nature. That's a much longer, deeper conversation, unfortunately, but I don't want to do a disservice, but that hopefully gives you that idea. Yes, sir?
Let's do one more question.
Yeah, we actually pay similar to what you were just mentioning. We're having a problem with actually finding people that are motivated by that. We're doing it, yeah, it's strange.
You must be trying to hire them alone.
I've had 2 people put in their resignations in the last, 3 weeks. One's going to the military, the other one wants to travel Europe. How do you battle that? And they're making percentages on our gross profit, and we're number like top 20 stores.
There's definitely been a cultural shift of some sort where people just aren't as money motivated as they used to be. I saw it myself when I had my stores. It is a challenge. That's part of the reason why I decided to take a more recruiting approach rather than a retail approach and using Indeed, Monster, and all the other sites. And, we put together business cards that had information on the back. We talk about the kind of money you could make for us, and if you were interested, get in touch with us. And if we ran across somebody that made a strong impression on us, waiter, waitress, bartender, somebody like that who was used to making money and took a job specifically to make extra money like that, we pass out those cards as a way of trying to incent them to come and talk to us. And if they didn't call us, we figured, okay, no worries. But we were surprised the number of people who did and said, yeah, I definitely want to make more. I'm working at Best Buy right now, and it really sucks because I don't get paid commission, but yet I sell this stuff all day long. So it's not an easy, I wish I had more time to get into it. It's not as,
That was something that Casey Kelly actually mastered.
yes.
But he used some people with some questionable backgrounds, and he was giving them like second or third or seventh chance. And I'm just not willing to take that gamble, unfortunately.
I know where you're coming from, but Casey was a bit of an evangelist, and he was really trying to kind of also help people move forward in their personal lives by giving them second chances, but I know where you're going with that. Yeah. Yeah, I mean, feel free to catch up to me later. It's just, like I said, it's just not a short answer, unfortunately.
Thanks.
Thank you. Appreciate your time.
Thank you very
Thank
much, Bob.
Thank you.
Awesome. All right, we're gonna